My oh my, how the tables have turned. The infamous Klaus Schwab, who just stepped down as chairman of the equally infamous World Economic Forum, is now being investigated for fraud. It's being widely reported that executives at the World Economic Forum have voted to open up an investigation on the 87-year-old founder of the WEF over whistleblower complaints of unethical conduct and financial misappropriation. We're going to see exactly what's going on and why it all spells nothing less than the end of the WEF itself. Hey, gang, it's me, Dr. C. Just another glorious day in the dawning of a new American golden age that you made possible back on November the 5th. So if you want a front row seat on everything happening in the rise of a new conservative age, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. Before we dive in here, gang, let's be honest, we're not getting any younger. And if you want to look and feel your best, you need to check out Pure Health Research. They have 45 premium health supplements designed to help with every health goal. So whether it's boosting your energy or trimming belly fat, supporting healthy blood sugar, pumping your testosterone up, or even reducing swelling in your legs, Pure Health Research Supplement Store has you covered. Each formula is crafted with natural, non-GMO ingredients backed by clinical research and manufactured right here in the good old USA. And here's the best part. Pure Health Research is offering you an exclusive 35% discount. You heard that right, 35% off. Just go to purehealthresearch.com and use coupon code Turley at checkout. With their 365-day money-back guarantee, there is zero risk in trying something new. So why wait? Head on over to purehealthresearch.com right now. Explore their 45 amazing supplements and save 35% off before the deal ends with coupon code Turley. Don't miss this chance to feel your best. Click on that link below right now. It is official. Klaus Schwab, who was until this weekend the unelected overlord of the globalist elite, is under investigation by the very organization he created back in 1971. This after whistleblowers came forward with allegations of financial misconduct committed by both Schwab and his wife. The Wall Street Journal broke the story after they obtained an anonymous letter that was sent out last week to the organization's board, which raised concerns about the WEF's governance and workplace culture, including allegations that the Schwab family blended their personal affairs with the forum's financial resources without proper oversight. A second source familiar with the matter corroborated the investigation. Among the allegations, Schwab allegedly asked junior employees to withdraw thousands of dollars from ATMs on his behalf. He also allegedly used WEF funds to pay for, quote, private in-room massages at hotels. Yuck. All the while, his wife, Hilda, supposedly had a penchant for scheduling what they called token WEF-funded meetings in order to justify luxurious holiday travel expenses using the organization's funds. Now, apparently, Schwab was absolutely furious over these allegations, and he threatened to retaliate with massive lawsuits of his own, but alas, such threats fell on deaf ears. The board voted over Easter weekend to pursue the investigation, and Schwab, as we now know, in turn, resigned as of this past Monday. Now, the key to understanding what's happening here is that this goes way, way, way beyond just getting rid of Klaus Schwab. Don't get me wrong. The fall of Schwab is significant enough. No question. Again, he was, in effect, for decades, the unelected overlord of the globalist elite who sought to impose a singular one-size-fits-all political and economic system on all populations, using their environmental apocalypticism as the chief excuse for such an imposition. In other words, if the world refused to abide by the policies of the WEF, the planet would perish. That was basically their argument that both billionaire and bureaucrat used in their efforts to amass an unprecedented amount of power and wealth into their own hands, all the while consigning to controlled serfdom the vast majority of the global population. So Klaus Schwab's demise is gigantic for sure, no question. But make no mistake, it's no question that all of this is happening in the shadow of January 20th, Inauguration Day, which is another way of saying it's no coincidence that all of this is happening in the shadow of what you did on November 5th. And they knew it. They knew it. Concerns over Trump and the elimination of slush funds like USAID actually dominated this past January's meeting in Davos. Check this out.
Trump has done something no person in the world has ever done before. A dead man, a dead politician, has risen. Somebody who, if we were 4 years ago at Davos, he's buried, dead politically, known to me. He's now returned. This is the greatest comeback in political history of a politician. And then, therefore, he thinks he can do anything.
We need to also factor in not only who's won, which is Trump.
Now, what that fellow is getting at there is precisely what we've been reporting on for years now. Again, we've noted repeatedly that even the New York Times has been admitting that the globalist system that the WEF has helped build and relies on, that world, that globalist system that the WEF uses as its network to implement this neo-feudalized society, has, as of November, completely imploded. It's shattered. Now, up until November, it was already on life support, and this largely because of the rise of BRICS, the dozen or so nations who form a parallel economic bloc that promotes civilizationalism and traditionalism and nationalism. With the OPEC countries that recently joined BRICS, like Iran and the UAE, BRICS now controls close to 50% of the world's oil production, and with China and India's foundational members, it comprises nearly 50% of the world's population. And with Russia and China at the helm, BRICS is a rabidly anti-WEF alliance. And so some months back, the New York Times had already recognized, they were already admitting that the days of the WEF were indeed coming to an end. And this was simply because the world was changing. And it was changing in ways that simply disrupted the very global networks that the WEF had built and relied on to implement its political and corporate agendas. Case in point, I don't think this investigation is a coincidence given the recent virtual elimination of USAID. The WEF and USAID, again, stands for U.S. Agency for International Development, have had a very controversial and long working relationship together for years. The WEF has long considered USAID a strategic partner. They've collaborated on various initiatives, including those focused on public-private partnerships, which is just another way of saying billionaire and bureaucrat aligning to impose a one-size-fits-all on everybody else. They've shared global initiatives like climate change and development. Again, this all according to WEF's own website. They've admitted this. They partnered together on globalist initiatives like the Global Health Alliance, which has been on the forefront of pushing abortion and woke reproductive rights and vaccine mandates around the world. In other words, with the demise of USAID, the WEF is quickly finding that its global network of NGOs that it's relied on as the vascular system, the circulation system of the globe that the WEF could inject its various initiatives into, simply no longer exists. It has been effectively dismantled. With the coming of Trump and the ending of the NGO slush funds like USAID, the WEF is getting cut off from its fundamental source of funding and power. So in other words, it's just another way of saying Trump looks like he basically ended the WEF. Trump broke Davos, quite literally. So obviously we'll be keeping a very close eye on how things develop here in the coming months, but it really does look like the days of the WEF are coming to an end. The golden age has truly dawned.
We will stand bravely, dream boldly, and nothing will stand in our way because we are Americans. The future is ours, and our golden age has just begun.
As we speak, America is regaining its rightful place as the greatest, most powerful, and prosperous nation on the planet. We have so much to celebrate already. Safer borders, the dismantling of DEI, permission to drill, baby, drill, and over $1 trillion in new investments released into the economy. We stand on the precipice of what will be known as the most prosperous time in American history. The only question is, will you be an active participant in the golden age, or will you sit passively on the sidelines watching everyone else build wealth? Well, if you want to be part of the former, then I urge you to join me and my good friend Mark Wilburn at the Golden Age Summit on Thursday, April 24th at 4 p.m. Eastern. Mark is a stock market genius whose recent recommendations have led to returns of over 200%. He's an amazing teacher, and he's got a knack for demystifying the market so everyday Americans can participate in this golden age we're now in. But don't wait. Seating registration is limited, so click on that link below right now and register today for this free online event, and I'll see you for a moment that promises to change your life.